Assalamu alaikum, this is Parush, and this is one of the finished project that I have created. And here I have a tree. If I click on the branches, flower grows, and when I click outside of the branches, nothing happens. And today I'm going to show you how to create this project of this type of animation. So I'm using here Animate 2020. You can use any version of Animate or Adobe Flash that supports Action 3. Here I'm going to click Create New, and here it gives me a new documents option. Here I'll click Advanced and then select Action 3 and then click Create. And here I'm going to change my stage dimension. I will select width 800 and height 600. Change the frame rate 24 to 35. And to build this project I need two images, one for flower and one for tree. So I have already downloaded two images from Google. Now I'm going to import these two images on my library. Okay, so here go File, Import, and click Import to Library. Here on my desktop I have a folder called S3.0. I'm going to double click, go inside that folder, and here I have also a folder called Tree Grows Flower. I'll go there and then I'll select both these images and click Open. And now I have two images on my library, one for flower and one for tree. And now I'm going to drag this tree first and see. This is a high resolution picture, so it is bigger than my stage. So I'm gonna select here a free transform tool and drag it by pressing Ctrl and Shift and make it smaller. Yes, and now I'll align it on the stage. Okay, and now I'll right click on my mouse and click break apart. You see, as soon as I break apart this tree, here I have to get rid of the leaves, and also I have to get rid of the extra pixels. You can see these are the extra pixels, black and white dots here, and you have to get rid or you have to remove all this, otherwise this project won't work. So the best way to remove all this extra pixel is to select your eraser and remove it this way. And I know it is time consuming, so I'm gonna pause this video right here and then I'll come back when I get remove all these extra pixels. So here I have the tree. I have got rid all of the extra pixels, and now you see I have removed the pixels, and now I'm gonna convert it to a movie clip. So I'll select it and then convert to symbol and name it tree, and then I'll delete it from here and I'll drag the flower, and also I'll right click selecting the flower, break apart, and now I have to get rid of this extra pixels too. So I'm going to select here eraser tool, and this is not so hard because it has less extra pixels than the tree. I think it is done. Yes, and now I'll delete it from keyboard, and it has been deleted. And now I'll select the flower and right click and then convert to symbol tool and name it flower, and this time I will export this flower as an action script and click OK. OK, delete it from stage. But one thing I have forgotten is to save the file. So first thing first, save the file, save, and here I have a folder on my desktop called S3.0. Double click, go inside, and here I have another folder, tree grows flower, and I'm going to save this file here by naming it tree and then click save. And now I'll double click and go inside that flower, as this is a movie clip, and here on frame 35 or 40 I will insert another keyframe, and here in the middle of the frames I'll select the frame and right click on my mouse and click create classic twin, and it wants that the symbol should be a movie clip. I'll just press OK, and here by selecting frame of the flower I will use free transform tool, and then I will press shift and control, and then I will drag the flower. I think it is done, and here you see animation goes here. Okay, and I'll rename this layer flower, and I'll insert another layer saying action, and I'll insert a keyframe at the last frame, insert blank keyframe, and I'll selecting the keyframe I will click action, and then I'll type here stop, save the file, and then go back to scene 1, and I'll delete this flower. Okay, you see, as I have exported it as a movie clip, so I'm gonna select this flower, this movie clip flower, and right click and then click edit class, and it has given me an external class, so I'll just save it at the same folder, save. Let me show you, S3 tree grows flower, and here, and in this constructor code I'll just type this dot scale x equal to this dot scale y equal to be 0.3 plus dot random opening closing parenthesis time 0.7. 1 means full flower, the size that is it already has. You can change this number anytime you want to, and semicolon. And now I'll type another thing by saying this dot rotation equal to be 0 plus dot random opening closing parenthesis time 360. That means every single thing has rotation of 0 to 360. It will start from 0 and randomly it will be stopping from 0 to 360 degree. Okay, save it. I think it is done. Go back to FLA, and if I drag few flowers on the stage, let's see what happens. If I test it now, I should see, yeah, yes, it is working. Different size and different rotation. Okay, it is working fine. I'm going to delete all this. And now here I have a movie clip of tree and I will align it. This is a full movie clip. I don't need full. I need this, because if I click here and it grows flower, it will be unrealistic. So I'm gonna go inside by double clicking it, and I'm gonna cut this trunk and come back to first scene and then paste it center and then align it right. I think it is done. And now by selecting the movie clip, I'll go to property and give an instant name by saying branches. Okay, and I'll insert another layer, but first I have to rename this layer. Rename this layer by saying content, and in the new layer rename the layer saying action. You can name anything you would like to. You can even type your own name. Okay, so I'll select the first frame and go to action panel and type here stop. And now as I want to grow flower by clicking, so I'll type here a click event listener by saying add event listener mouse event dot click and click handler, the function name, closing parenthesis semicolon, and here I'll type the function name by saying function, and the function name is click handler. I'll copy it and paste it, opening parenthesis, and it will be event colon mouse event closing parenthesis opening curly brace, enter, closing curly brace. Okay, and if I import this flower by clicking, let's see what happens when I import this flower by clicking. Okay, so va, as you know, flower, and it will be flower. You see, code hints shows me default package flower, and it will be new flower, and I need to have flower position. So flower.x equal to be mouse x, and flower.y equal to be mouse y, and then add child flower. Save the file, test it. If I click, flower grows, but it is bigger. I will make it smaller later on. But if I click outside the you see, when I click on the flower, it also creating a flower. This is not the project that it should be. And first I'll make this flower smaller, so I will edit the class, and this dot scale x, this dot scale y should be 0.1, and math dot random 0.4. Save the file, test it again. Still bigger, not 4, it should be 2. Flower is too big, test it. And I think it is okay, though the flower is little big. So go inside the flower, make it smaller, and that will fix the problem. Double click, and here last frame of the flower I'll select free transform tool, and selecting pressing Ctrl Shift, and make it a little bit smaller. I think it will do for this project. Save the file and test. And now the flower would be smaller than I expected. Yes. And now I can change this to 2 to 6, and it will be okay. And test it again. And now I think it is okay. Let's make it 5.5. Save it, test it. But this is not a good thing. When I click on the flower, it's also growing flowers, and I don't want this. If I click outside, nothing is happening. It's okay, but I thought that when I click outside, it should also grow a flower. anyway, but I have to get rid of this. I don't want the flower to be grown when I click on the flower. So go back to main FLA and go inside the action panel and cut the code and put a condition by saying if 3 dot hit test point mouse X comma mouse Y comma and true, opening curly brace, then paste back the code and I think it should work. Save the file, control test, is there an error? It is saying an error, undefined properties tree, what is the instant name of the tree? Sorry, branches. The instant name of this movie clip is branches. And it is okay now. And if I test it, control test, and it is working, but yes, it is not growing flower outside of the branches. Yes, it is working fine. And that's it. I think today you have learned something. If you think this tutorial helps you, then please do subscribe me, put a lot of comments and share this video, and thanks for watching once again. Assalamu alaikum.